Big international story now. Hostages and prisoners were reunited with loved ones today as part of the peace agreement between Israel and Hamas.
President Trump spent the day abroad to mark what he's calling the dawn of a new Middle East. Erica Brown is following new developments from the White House tonight.
Erica and Joe, today President Trump is declaring peace in the Middle East as his administration and world leaders at a summit today in Egypt celebrated the ceasefire brokered in part by this White House between Israel and Hamas. And it comes on a day of hope and some optimism with that emotional return of Israeli hostages released in exchange for thousands of Palestinian prisoners. Emotional reunions filled with tears, excitement, and relief as the released Israeli hostages embrace their families after more than 2 years in Hamas captivity. President Trump, who helped broker the peace plan, addressed Israel's parliament Monday, receiving a standing ovation, and called the moment the historic dawn of a new Middle East.
This is not only the end of a war. This is the end of an age of terror and death and the beginning of the age of faith and hope and of God.
As part of the deal, nearly 2,000 Palestinian prisoners were returned to the West Bank and Gaza, greeted by crowds of supporters. Later in the day, a convoy carrying the remains of 4 Israeli hostages who died in Hamas captivity made its way to Israel. Israeli officials await the return of the remains of 24 more deceased hostages as part of the terms of the agreement. With the first phase of the peace deal now in effect, humanitarian aid is now arriving into Gaza, loaded with food and other critical supplies to help address the devastation UN aid workers have described as a famine. The president wrapped his one-day trip to the Middle East with a ceremonial signing of the deal.
And for the people of Gaza, the focus now must be on restoring the basics of a good life. We're going to have a lot of money coming into Gaza and a lot of rebuilding.
Other major hurdles ahead include who will govern Gaza and disarming Hamas. But today, many are celebrating reunions with loved ones and the step toward peace. Now today, President Trump also called for coordination from world leaders to ensure the peace and security of the region, along with the reconstruction of Gaza. Reporting from the White House, Erica Brown, CBS News, Chicago.